Okay, so I'm gonna break down, each step and how long it took, and total time, and actually how much labor I put into it. Sorry about the mess behind me. I work out of my garage, as you can see, and I don't actually have an office. So this is kind of the money you could expect to make at home, doing this out of your home, your personal garage, that you already pay for without any overhead, doing it by yourself. So I have about an hour and a half total of stripping. 45 minutes of that was about actual labor. The rinsing off, the dipping, moving the wheels from one tank to the next, taking them out, spraying them off. After that, I did about 2.5 hours in the oven for outgassing at 440 degrees. There's no actual labor involved in that, unless you want to count, hanging them up or setting them in there and turning the oven on, which took all of about 5 minutes. I spent about an hour and 15 minutes blasting them at about 10 to 15 minutes per wheel, plus refilling the blast pot. So you can factor in, that's actually all labor, pretty much. Transferring the wheels in and out, blasting them, and refilling. And then after that, setting up the wheels, blowing them off, cleaning them off, and applying the first coat, and to getting them in the oven was about 45 minutes. And that was spraying the base coat of black. I did about 45 minutes for the first flow out from a cold oven. I just put them in my oven cold. Some people say you shouldn't do that. I haven't had any issues. Everything comes out the same as putting it in a hot oven. So I wait to turn my oven on until my parts are in there for the first round, usually. After about, they spent about 45 minutes in the oven from cold, and then they spent about 45 minutes cooling off after that. After that, I loaded the clear. It took me 15 minutes to spray the clear and get them back in the oven. And then I put them in a hot oven for about an hour. So, after I added it all up, I have about 3 hours of actual hands-on labor. And total time to do the wheels was about 9 hours. So if you do 9 hours, the total for the wheels was $440 at $110 a wheel. I did 85 for the base coat, and then I sprayed a clear for $25 a wheel. They're 20-inch side-by-side wheels. I usually do a little bit more for 20s, but since they're a little bit more narrow, I cut them a break on them. So at $110 a wheel, $440 total. At the 9 hours for the total time, that includes labor and just the waiting period, you're looking at about $45 an hour, which isn't terrible for, about 6 of those hours just waiting. For that's, if you have other jobs, that 6 hours can be spent blasting other parts, stripping other parts, prepping jobs, so that 6 hours can actually be making you money onto your next job. But I went ahead and calculated it just so y'all could see, if you just had one job and it took you 9 hours, you're looking at $45 an hour roughly for this. And, and I didn't get in no hurry doing these wheels. Sure, you could have done them faster. I took my time. I didn't rush, and that's what you get. If you do the labor for the 3 hours, it's about $133 an hour, and that's factoring into on both of those prices per hour, or both of those hourly, I guess you want to call them wages. That's factoring into kind of what my costs were. It cost me, so I did to run my oven, the 9 hours cost me about $10. The Texas average kilowatt hour is about 11 cents, and my oven's a little over 10,000 watts. So if you factor it out, it comes out to be a little over $10 to run it for 9 hours. It's a little over $1 an hour to run my oven. I used about roughly, just kind of guessing just on previous jobs, because I use a big box. We'll say 3 pounds of black powder. I get it from Sherwin-Williams for $3 and some change per pound. So you're looking at about $12 and black powder coat, and then roughly about a pound of clear. I use Clear Vision from Prismatic. I know there's cheaper places to get clear, but that was about $13. So you're looking at $25 in powder. You know, you'll want to factor in your media, even though it can be recycled. You know, you're still, you know, I use Green Diamond, which is about $10 for a 50-pound bag. So, I mean, you could, if you want to factor in the $10, you can for that. But that's going to last me for several other jobs, since I'm able to do it in my blast cabinet and recycle it. Also, the rim strip, you will want to factor in some of that, because you are using, every time you dip a wheel and you pull it out, there's some rim strip on there, and when you put it in your neutralization tank, you waste some of it, unless you have a way to hang it and suspend it in the air and let it, you know, almost completely drip dry. But even then, you're still going to want to factor in some kind of, you want to figure out and factor in some kind of cost for rim strip, and put that money aside for when it does run out to replenish it. Because we all know, if you're using rim strip, that stuff isn't cheap. So, you know, there it is. I know a lot of people don't talk about what they actually make powder coating, but I know it's what a lot of people probably have. It's probably a big question for a lot of people before they get into it and invest all the money, is how much can I actually make, you know, powder coating. So, you know, for wheels, total time, you could expect about $40 to $50 an hour, I would say, would be safe. So I hope this helps. If you like the video and it helps you and you have other questions, you feel free to email me. You can comment. I'm pretty good at commenting back. I don't get a lot of comments, so it's pretty easy for me to keep up with. Like, subscribe, you know, that'll help me stay motivated at getting more videos out and hopefully helping y'all. So thanks for watching.